Hello everybody, how are you? I'm also fine, thanks. Today we'll talk about on tag question. Tag question. Tag question. We know actually there are three types of question. Number one, yes, no. Number two, WH questions, and the third one, tag question. And our topics, tag question. Before going to tag question, we have to know contraction. We have a proper idea about contraction. What is contraction? We know it's very short form, like that: is not, isn't, shall not, shan't, will not, won't, has not, hasn't, it is, etc. Number two, subjective pronoun. Subjective pronoun. Like that: I, we, he, she, they, also it, their, you, it is, etc. Number three, note of interrogation. Note of interrogation is very easy. We just give here a question mark. This is note of interrogation. And number four, tense. And last one, sentence. Subjective pronoun, here just I, we, he, she, they, it, their, you, etc. And last one, just question mark. How we'll just solve each one? Especially sentence. There are 5 kinds of sentence. Main topics on assertive sentence. Assertive sentence. 2 types of statements of assertive sentence. Number 1, affirmative. And number 2, negative. When we solve the tag question, that times affirmative will be negative and negative will be affirmative. For example, Mr. Alam is a teacher. This one affirmative. And number 2, Mr. Alam is not a doctor. means he is a teacher, and this is a both statements actually opposite. Number one, this is affirmative, and number two, negative. And here is plus not, and contraction isn't. Here will be isn't. And the roles, this is pronoun Mr. Alam. Mr. Alam is male person, that's why it will be he, and here he. And last one, the question mark. And number two, Mr. Alam is not a doctor. Here just is he. Because this is negative, it will be affirmative. This is affirmative, it will be negative. At the same times, we use do, does, did, like that. Mrs. Alam comes here regularly. Mrs. Alam comes here regularly. Here is a verb, but here no am, is, are, was, were, comes, and that's why it's third person singular number. It will be does, and this is affirmative, that's why it will be turned into negative. Does plus not means doesn't. You can write here just doesn't. Person, by here will be she. And here Mr. Alam is male person, that's why here will be he. This is the difference, the female and male person. If it will be past tense, what will be? Like that, Mr. Alam goes to office. Here goes, here comes, this one, the same one, doesn't. Here will be he. But when we'll write here, Mr. Alam went to market. Went, this is past form, that's why here will be did. And this is affirmative, that's why it will be negative. Didn't he? In that way, we can learn how change affirmative to negative or negative to affirmative through the tech questions. Okay, thank you everybody.